You know, it's all fun and games until someone starts streaming Amagon. Like, you think to yourself, I played Kadash, I enjoyed Kadash, so let's play something else on stream. And you pick Amagon, of all things. Because you have unfinished business with Amagon. Business from years ago. And you never thought you'd be back here. You thought you were done with Amagon a long time ago. You thought this specter was done haunting your life. But no, we're playing Amagon again. And it's way too hot right now to be playing video games live on a stream. But I'm doing it anyway. And I can't tell you why. I don't know why. So the thing about Amagon is that our hero Amagon, he doesn't jump so good. Hey, you weren't here the first time I played Amagon. Anyway, our hero Amagon, he doesn't jump so good. He has a very weighty jump. He like rockets to the ground. So you have to really smash down the jump button if you want to get any sort of significant height. Just tapping the jump button basically makes him do an incredibly inconsequential hop. Look, I thought maybe I was wrong about Amagon. It's been a little while since I played it. And the reason I bought it, you know, is because of the premise of this marine landing on this deserted island and fighting all kinds of supernatural monsters. I mostly bought it because I know the final boss is the Flatwoods monster, and this game is made by Japanese people, so I thought it was really weird that a Japanese video game had the Flatwoods monster as a final boss. We have limited ammunition. We can pick up ammunition as a drop from enemies, but we still, it says 267, that's actually not as many as it sounds. Because some enemies take 20 bullets. Not in this first level, but some of the enemies in the other levels take 20 bullets. And that's a lot of bullets. The core gimmick behind Amagon is that if we pick up a certain power-up, we can transform into Amagon's powerful alter ego, Megagon. Yeah, that's why I bought the game, Roar of Ra. That's why I bought the game, is because the final boss is the Flatwoods monster. That's why I own this. I'm playing this on a cartridge right now on my Retron 5. It is worth noting that the enemies have different patterns and different types, and if you memorize which enemy does what, it's easier to play the game. But often stuff just comes at you too fast. Just like most 2D platformers, you have to be terrified of everything. You have to be absolutely terrified of everything if you want to live. And of course you have to restart the game if you lose all your lives. You just have to start all over from the start. There's a decent Wikipedia article on the Flatwoods monster. Basically, it's just your regular cryptid that hick people like to talk about. It's not one of the more popular cryptids. It's the black pudding of cryptids, basically, if you will. So how Megagon works is we get that power-up picture of a buff man, and when we do that, we can transform into Megagon by pressing select. And transforming into Megagon gives us a health bar. Normally we only take one hit, but when we're playing as Megagon, we get an actual health bar, like a game made for real people instead of a game made to torture someone. And playing as Megagon is fun. He jumps much higher. He defeats all the enemies in one hit. Feels like there's a lot more strategy involved in playing as Megagon. Megagon's also the only way to take out the mini-bosses, as far as I know, because they seem to march straight towards you no matter how much you shoot them if you're playing as regular Amagon. But you can fight the actual bosses just fine as Amagon. It's the mini-bosses that you can't really handle as regular Amagon for some reason. There's a lot of birds. Getting used to Amagon's punch is a lot easier than it seems. When I first played this game, I had issues getting used to Amagon's punch because... I'm sorry, Megagon's punch, because Amagon's gun, you know, that has range. So I thought Megagon's punch was kind of a downgrade, but he punches really fast. So it's not all that bad, and you can stay in your Megagon form as long as you have health. So you can play through the entire stage with Megagon if you're good enough. And, you know, I don't mind. Maybe the game would be better if you just played as Megagon the whole time. I certainly think it would. The enemies don't drop power-ups, though, while you're playing as Megagon, so that could be considered a downside if there is one playing as Megagon. I don't really appreciate the swarm of enemies toward the end of the level. It's only there so that way you have issues getting past the 2 mini-bosses. After you get past the 2 lion mini-bosses, you fight a giant floating lion head, which is pretty weird. This game's a little weird sometimes. It grows a second head, which I'm sure is symbolic of the fact that we just fought a lion with 2 heads. Anyway, you can fight this boss pretty reliably with regular Amagon. The pattern isn't even that bad. It's just terrifying, because like most old video games like this, you only get the 1 hit, and I don't want to redo the stage. I don't want to redo the stage. I want a checkpoint to start me back at, damn it, to start me back at the boss battle, like video games that are sane. But if we do lose, we have to start back here. There are checkpoints in the stage. There's a small mercy. Very small mercy. But Megagon's health directly correlates to how many points we have. So if we... That mushroom that just jumped into the water, that you saw, it jumped in the water, right? You saw it jump in the water? That mushroom had the Megagon power-up. The one that we need to fight the mini-bosses. It just jumped into the water. So now we can't get the Megagon power-up that we need to fight the mini-bosses. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that just beautiful? That has never happened to me when I played this game ever in my life. That is incredible. I have memorized where most of the Megagon power-ups drop and where most of the 1-ups drop. So, if one of the Megagon power-ups goes away, if you run out of bullets, you get a very ineffective melee attack that is physically incapable of killing some of the enemies. Amagon just swings his rifle, which doesn't do anything. You can technically kill enemies with it, but it has an incredible wind-up, and it's clearly meant to be unusable. Unusable. It feels like a mockery more than anything, like they're laughing at you. It feels like this game is laughing at me, honestly. And yeah, that's right, your bullets do not refill when you die. It's great. This is one of those games where you're either completely destroying it the whole time, or you're getting destroyed the whole time. Those are the only two outcomes to playing Amagon. Like I said, I have unfinished business. I want to know if Amagon is as bad as I remember it. because I've only ever been able to play it for like an hour at a time. Which probably says something, but you know, maybe it's me. Maybe the mushroom went in the water again. It went in the water again. How are you? It's such an important. That's such an important power up. You can't just let it fall in the water like that. Help me. Amagon's melee attack is not adequate. It's very inadequate. I'm dying. Somebody help me. We're gonna try again. I think Amagon is making me delirious. I've played worse 2D platformers. I don't think I've ever played one where a crucial power-up jumped into the water and left me to die like that. Because as far as I know, you physically cannot beat the mini-bosses if you don't have the Amagon power-up. I don't think you can actually physically beat the mini-bosses without it. Like I said, you can beat the regular bosses just fine with regular Amagon, but without the Amagon power-up, I think you're just screwed. You see me dodge in between those bullets. That was incredible skill. And totally not an accident. I didn't even know you could dodge between the bullets, to be honest. So that's new. I learned something new about Amagon today. Actually kind of like the mushroom enemies on principle because you have to shoot at them while they're coming back down if you want the bullets to hit. I actually think that's kind of okay. I like the idea behind the mushroom enemy types, how you have to shoot at them while they're coming down. Lead your shots, if you will, which is weird in a 2D game. You know, all the enemies have patterns, they're all enemy types, the birds swoop at you. The mushrooms bounce up and down, the snakes stop in place and fire venom, spit. There's game design. I don't think the problem with Amagon is that it doesn't have game design. There's plenty of game design here. The issue's not that. That snake just jumped right over me. I'm so terrified of everything. This game is terrifying. Ammo conservation is really important in this game, and I'm not sure I'm doing that part properly. You have to help Amagon escape from this hell. Amagon is a crashed marine on this undiscovered, unexplored hellhole of an island, and he needs your help. You just gonna leave Amagon here to die? Amagon didn't ask for this. Amagon didn't ask to be in this video game. Amagon didn't ask to be pink. Amagon didn't make these choices for himself. We are Amagon's only hope. I don't feel good about that, but what can you do? What can you do? Who else is going to help Amagon? Nobody else wants to help Amagon. Nobody else likes Amagon. I've never met a single person in my life who had positive things to say about this video game. I mean, I guess I've said positive things about this video game. Does Amagon have other islands? No, thankfully this is the only island in the game. Otherwise it would be unbearable. This game is only one island big, and I think there are 6 or 7 levels in it. Because this is not a short game. It's like an hour long, if you don't mess up. And an hour of straight 2D platforming gameplay where you have to be terrified of everything is really bad for the nerves. You know, like, it's just not good for you. I'm doing alright right now, because I mentally prepared myself for this situation. The Megagon music is nice. The Megagon music has a good remix also on YouTube that someone made. Oh, I don't like it very much. I don't like the game very much. There are worse games on the NES. Not too many, but there are worse. For sure. I really would like to just make it to the boss, please. If you could just get out of my way and let me make it to the boss battle, thank you. I really just want to fight the boss. If this were a game made by sane people, I would already be at the boss, because this game would have had checkpoints, like games made for people that don't hate you. So yeah, sometimes I talk about Amagon in my videos for seemingly no reason. This is what that's like, if you were ever curious. I think it got brought up in at least 2 Let's Plays so far. Please don't jump it. Please, again, in the water. I am amazed. This is only the 2nd level. How can you put a crucial power-up to completing the game in such a way that it will fall into the water like that? I am baffled. Bamboozled. That one was my bad. Yeah, probably. The game is supposed to be funny. I don't think it is, but it's clearly supposed to be funny, because this was made by Japanese people, and it's very cartoony American style stuff. Not really Japanese in any way. Japanese people only draw American cartoon style things when they're trying to be funny, or they're trying to look like Astro Boy. Don't put that quote anywhere. I'm sure there are a lot of anime forums that would like to disagree with that quote. I mean, there's Kikaider. I like the Kikaider animated series, and that looked kind of American. Not that much, but more than the average anime. Please send help. Someone please send help to Amagon. Let's get Amagon a GoFundMe. Let's get him off this island, please. I love the try again. It's not encouraging. It's not nice. It's just try again. Do it again. I would feel better if the screen just said "oops." If the screen just said "oops" on it instead of "try again." That would make me feel better. It was just like, "Oops, you got to play this game some more." That would be much more relatable and pleasant than what actually occurs. It's not very nice, yeah. Not a very nice game. I don't got anything better to do right now than play Amagon. That's not true. I have Let's Plays to record, but I wanted to play Amagon. Because I own it. I own the cartridge. I'm playing the cartridge right now. I bought this on the sheer power of knowing that the final boss is the Flatwoods monster. That is the only reason I purchased this video game. And I've never seen the Flatwoods monster, obviously. I doubt many people have. I doubt many people have ever finished this video game. I prefer Neo's game over screen most out of any text-based game over screens I've seen. Neo's game over screen says, "You are freed from the mortal coil." And it gets old after a bit, but it's nice at first. You know, it adds a lot more flavor that you might not be expecting. You have so few invincibility frames in this video game. Like I said, it's not like the pattern for this boss is particularly difficult. It's just terrifying because you don't want to start the stage over. I don't know what you're supposed to do if you run out of ammo besides die, of course. See, I think the idea was, if you were a kid and you bought this game, this is all you had, you know, because you just spent a lot of money on this game. So you just had to like it. You didn't really have a choice. You just kind of had to like this game. You know, I try to practice games when I'm doing Let's Plays, but I don't feel like practicing Amagon would give people a good idea of what it actually is. Like, you can go on the internet and watch No Death Run gameplay of Amagon, no problem. I'm sure that's there. The amount of health Megagon gets is determined by how many points you have. And I think that's actually a decent mechanic. Yeah, it's determined by how many points you have. I think that's a decent mechanic. I actually like it, because it actually encourages the player to kill monsters instead of just avoiding them, and further helps the ammo conservation angle of the design. But again, if you know, the game didn't make you start it all over when you goofed up, that would be great. This is how you have to play old games. You just have to keep going until you memorize everything, and then you become a robot. And some people want that, you know, some people want that. Some people like that. They like having to memorize games until they become a robot. And that's fine. You're allowed to want that. I don't think that's something the average consumer wants, though. Like, I don't think this was okay to sell to children. And there are games you have to memorize that are better than this, you know? For as much as this game wants to have a personality, it doesn't even do that particularly well. Doesn't even do that particularly well. I did originally want to play this with the Sega Genesis controller, but as it turns out, the Sega Genesis controller does not have a select button, which makes it impossible to turn into Megagon, unfortunately. Not that the NES controller is bad, I was just too lazy to go get one until I learned that I actually physically needed one. I think the crown just gives you more points than most things do. I think that's what the crown is for. Yeah, the game clearly is trying to be funny. There's a couple of cute animations. Strangely, Amagon doesn't have an almost falling off a ledge animation. Seems like a wasted opportunity, a ledge hanging animation. I feel that would add a lot, really. Obviously the developers didn't consider that a priority, but I don't understand what the selling point of the game is besides the humor and the fact that you can transform into a bigger man. Besides the fact that you can activate a gameplay mode that makes the game tolerable. You're definitely supposed to be playing as Megagon during this segment, because I am pretty sure these bugs just spawn infinitely. But I'm trying to conserve our Megagon. I'm trying to conserve our Megagon ammo. Not that it really helped any. You know, I feel like it'd be real easy if someone wanted to pretend that this game isn't bad, because you can easily practice things for. Oh, jeez, I'm dead. You can easily practice games for a very long period of time. And if after you've memorized all the enemy types and know what you're doing, you can make any game look good, really. Any old game. I don't think Amagon is very good. I'd be interested in watching you stream it. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm just gonna call you Some Call Me. I'd be interested in watching you stream it, because you had somehow made it through Wild Woody. Not fairly, but I don't think anyone ever has made it through Wild Woody without cheating. I don't believe you. I guess you could call that a touch if you wanted, but if you actually care about score, that might make you want to not transform into Megagon as much, which isn't something you should force someone to do. You shouldn't encourage someone to spend less time as Megagon. You should let them be Megagon as much as possible. The Retron 5 does have save states, but if I were going to save state, I wouldn't be playing it on the Retron 5 right now. I wouldn't have bothered to get out a real Nintendo Entertainment System controller and the cartridge if I were going to save state. We're just stuck playing Amagon until we all die. I was 100% certain that I could make it to the second level at least. I think you're thinking about it way harder than the actual developer did, RPG Lover, and I appreciate that about you. That's a consistent theme whenever you talk about video games. All right, let's give this one more good go. I'm gonna turn on my focus all the way. You know, I've played a lot of really bad 2D platformers. If I'm just afraid of everything to an obscene extent, then this should be fun, right? That's what you do in a lot of old 2D platformers. You'd be afraid of everything in front of you. Everything off the screen is just waiting to kill you. The future is hazy and terrifying, and you need to treat it that way. I do like how the birds fly off screen and then come back later to charge at you. I think that's kind of... Not saying this game has good telegraphing, but at least they did that. I don't like how you can't tell when the crabs are going to drop from the trees, or bugs, whatever those are. Those blue bug crab things in the trees. I don't like how you can't tell when they're going to drop. Sometimes they drop before you reach them, sometimes they drop at, and it hit me in the head. Sometimes they drop before you reach them, sometimes they drop after. I wish they had a consistent kind of behavior. Or if you wanted to make them have a different kind of behavior, just color them a different color. Color coding enemies is a very nice thing to do in old games like this. It's very pleasant to the player if you do that. You know, I bought this game because I had to be one of those people that's like, this game can't be that bad. It looks completely unremarkable, but the game has the Flatwoods monster in it. Who can say for sure what those are? Maybe the Amagon instruction manual can say. But I don't own Amagon's case, I only own the cartridge. Because NES cases were cheap and fell apart very easily. I own almost every Genesis case for every Genesis game I own, because Genesis cases were sturdy. Genesis cases are very sturdy, they hold up a long time. Unlike my soul, which is starting to experience some wear and tear. I just want to make it to the second level. That's all I want. I guess it's the second world if we're going in video game terminology. I just want to make it to the second world, game. I just want to get there. Because the second world has flying turtles. They are tarantulas. Somebody give RPG Lover... what can you give someone over the internet? Give them emotional support. Give RPG Lover emotional support. Also give me emotional support. Or RPG Lover, you know, I'm sure they deserve the emotional support. Seem like a very optimistic person. Played through a Woody Woodpecker game. Had 2 people play through that Woody Woodpecker game recently. One of them could not stand it. And RPG Lover was like, yeah, it's pretty okay. I appreciate the design and what it tried to do. Controls aren't the best, but you know. Other person just outright hated it. Said they failed to see anything of value in Woody Woodpecker. It takes a strong kind of person to find value in everything, you know? And I try. I like to think I brought up a couple of things that are nice about Amagon, at least. A couple of things. Amagon, maybe if you threw your punch straight. You know, I never checked if you can manually change back into regular Amagon. I never checked if you can transform from Megagon back to regular Amagon manually. We both know that everyone in 2D video games only has one side, and they just flip the sprite. There are no guns, it's gun. He has a gun. Well, we're not gonna make it, but on the bright side, we did get some ammo, at least. Amagon, that's a pit. That's a pit of water. Did you guys see I fell in a pit of water? Why are more people watching? Don't do this to yourself. Don't do this to yourself. You could say it's a journey. We're going on an adventure to make it to the second level of this video game. I don't think this game has much of an ending, now that I think about it. Which is a shame, because the premise has a reasonable amount of character, even if the character's not all there in the game. And you can put more personality than this into an NES game. You know, there's some really decent full-blooded RPGs on the NES, so because Amagon's a 2D platformer doesn't mean it gets to not be weird. And it is weird, that's why I bought it, but it could be more weird for the suffering it's inflicting on me. It could be more weird. You know, if it was more weird, I would probably not hate it as much. The gameplay would still not be good, but I wouldn't hate it as much. You think if this were one of the only video games in existence, people would really like this game? Because I ask myself that question a lot about a lot of different games. I've never heard anyone really say anything positive about Amagon. Aside from the few things that were said here tonight. Or in the morning, or whatever time it is where you live. I think if they made the enemies as I think if they made the enemies as interesting as the Flatwoods monster, that would help a lot. I get they're going for a whole beached on a creepy island thing, and that's appreciable. I would also just like if I weren't so bad, I would also just like if the theme came across more clearly. That would be better. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you need the Megagon power-up to defeat the mini-bosses. Not the boss, but the mini-boss. It is way too hot. I don't want to play Pink Panther. I mean, I'd rather play Pink Panther than this. The PS1 Pink Panther game seems okay. It has a cute premise. That seems like it fits reasonably with the Pink Panther license. You know, snatching something and then running away as fast as you can. Yeah, like I said, I don't think you can beat the mini-bosses without Megagon active. I don't think you can do it. I don't think it's physically possible. No, you cannot manually change back into regular Amagon. I just tried. No, it's a sad day when you have to do back and forth like this with snakes. As a powerful, beefy man. Yeah, it is kind of weird. The actual bosses are doable with Amagon because they have real patterns. But the mini-bosses just charge straight at you, and there's no fixing that. You can't do anything about that. You can't jump over them, you can't duck under them, they don't leap or anything. They just run straight at you and wreck you. Like that. But that was birds. I don't know how long I've been streaming, but however long it will be is how long it's going to take me to beat this first world. I really want to like Amagon. Not like I don't want to like it. I bought it because I thought I would. Well, that's why I bought it. That's why I spent $5 on the cartridge, is because I thought I would actually like the game. Yeah, there are worse NES games. This is one of the worst, but there are worse. NES difficulty is pretty accurate if you're thinking of the kind of difficulty most people think of when they I swear that bullet didn't touch me. I'm gonna look back at that. But if you're thinking of the kind of difficulty people think of when they think of NES games, yeah, this probably matches that pretty well. NES games are just kind of mean. You know, Karnov, I would probably be in level 4 on Karnov by now. I were playing Karnov instead. I mean, Karnov's not amazing or anything, but I think it rewards players for their effort a lot better than Amagon does. Also, you can take more than one hit in Karnov. That might have something to do with it. How weak is our man that getting smashed into by birds destroys him? Oh, a 1-up. I'll take that. I actually like... Shoot, I feel bad that I can't even remember that developer's name. Data East. I actually like Data East's fighting games. I think they're quite good. I didn't know Karnov's Revenge had a competitive scene. I guess it would make sense, because as I understand it, all 2D fighting games have a competitive scene somewhere. But I didn't expect that one of Data East's fighting games would. You hear people talk about the classic 2D fighting games, you never hear Fighter's Destiny. Never hear anyone mention Fighter's Destiny in there. Is it Fighter's History? I could have sworn it was Fighter's Destiny. That's probably the Nintendo 64 game. Fighter's Destiny is probably the 64 game, and Fighter's History is the Data East one. I'm probably getting those two confused. Oh geez, thanks game for that sudden influx of Hellbirds for no particular reason. That was great. I wish it were as weird as it looks. You have no idea how badly I wish it were as weird as it looks. It's not as weird as it looks. If it were, I wouldn't be hating it so much right now, but it's not. It's not as weird as it looks. Please stand still and get shot. Please. Please stand still and get shot. Oh, this video game is draining my soul! I don't know where that is, but I have no choice to believe you. I have to believe you. I have no choice in the matter. Which one is Elevator Action Returns? I've seen a lot of remakes of Elevator Action. This game isn't very nice. I'm just gonna put that out there. Oh, Taito Legends? I do actually own that. I do own Taito Legends. So I might try that sometime. Oh, Taito Legends 2. You know, Kadash was made by Taito. I mean, it wasn't developed by them, but it's owned by them. I wonder if one of the Taito Legends games has the original arcade Kadash on it. That would be interesting. I would play that. I'll look that up, actually, after I'm done suffering. But you know, back in the day, this is just what you had to do when you wanted to beat a video game. This is just what you had to do when you wanted to beat a video game. I think Taito Legends 1 has a really cool beat-em-up on it about ninjas. I can't remember what it's called, but I really like that beat-em-up. It was an arcade beat-em-up, but it wasn't unfair. You could use your brain, and you could get past the bosses without losing. It had a lot more humor and life in it than this game did. It also had a sort of American cartoony aesthetic, even though it was made by Japanese people like this game. Growl is neat. Not a big fan of the Genesis version of Growl. It's really missing a lot of the crazy from the arcade version. I also wish it was still called Run Arc in America, not because Run Arc is a name that makes sense, but because Run Arc is an incredibly Japanese name, and I can't imagine why you wouldn't want to keep that name. It has a lot more personality to it than just Growl. It's not like you're going to say, oh yeah, I played It's not like you're going to say, oh yeah, I played Growl, and somebody will know what you meant. Because it's called Growl. I wonder what it would be like in a world where Amagon was considered a classic. Like a world where Amagon was considered to have good game design. And something that other games should strive to be like. Game, if you could maybe give me more lives or something to start with. Because dying on the first stage over and over is incredibly demoralizing. And I like to think that I'm better at the first stage than this by this point. I like to think that. You know, it just takes the one hit. Just takes the one hit and that's it. I said I like the Amagon music. I think I already said that, but it's still true. I still like the Amagon music. There are some one-hit kill games I can get behind, like Bit Trip Runner, but most one-hit kill games I like have some sort of game, like rhythm kind of component to them. This game doesn't really have a rhythm to it. Donkey Kong Country is a one-hit kill game, and that has a lot of rhythm to it, so that's a good example. Metal Slug gave you lives, though. Metal Slug gave you lives per credit. You didn't only get one hit per credit, you got 3 hits per credit because the game gave you lives. This game doesn't have credits, it just has lives. No credits are here. Soul Blazer's on the Super Nintendo, right? This is the second time you brought up Soul Blazer. Did you play that recently? A lot of people were telling me it was like an undiscovered gem and stuff. But people say that a lot about a lot of video games. I like SNES games that feel like SNES and Genesis games that feel like they were made for people, like they were made for human consumption. Shatterhand is pretty unique, and the music is outstanding. Come on, there we go. I played it a long time ago. Jesus, my Megagon only has 2 hits. I'll look up that remix after I'm done here. Just like I'll look up Taito Legends and see if Kadash was in any of those. I don't think it would be, though, because Kadash is not particularly well known. As far as I know, the Genesis port I played was only available in America, though, so that's an interesting little tidbit. I'm so tired, Amagon. Amagon, please work with me. Give me a sign that you care. I do like Oniken. I quite enjoy it. Oniken reminds me a lot of Natsume's NES platformers. Oniken reminds me a lot of Shadow of the Ninja, which is an old Natsume platformer, and was the inspiration for their 2D Power Rangers games, which I recommend playing. You know, just right in the water. I didn't know they made a game after Oniken. It's not like I hate the idea of 2D platformers. They used to terrify me, because I was afraid all of them were like Amagon, you know? I was afraid, you know, you try any 2D platformer, it's just going to be another Amagon. That's what terrified me. I have enough Amagon in my life. I'll look it up on Steam. I'll look up their oh Jesus, Amagon, don't do that. I'll look up their games on Steam after I'm done here, because I know I have Oniken on Steam. Oh, that was them? I didn't know they made that. They really moved up in the world then. Guess who's out of ammunition? It's me, Amagon. Probably a good way to teach people how to not design video games. Amagon is, I mean. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Like Amagon's melee weapon. Let's fight the boss. Come on. Melee only Amagon run. This is awful. Who would win, Amagon or Jesus? Those are not hands, though that's supposed to be trees. I know it doesn't look anything like trees, but it's supposed to be trees. Game, stop giving me 1-ups. I don't have any ammunition. You giving me 1-ups at this point is just, it's just an insult, because I don't have any ammunition. I don't have any ammunition to fight the boss with. Stop giving me 1-ups and just let me die. Stop giving me 1-ups and just let me die. Please. I just want to die so I can retry the first level again. And the second level. Thank God there was no 1-up in it. Could you... Why did they even... You should just die instantly when you run out of ammunition, really. Because it's just cruelty. You should just die when you run out of ammunition. Please stop giving me 1-ups. That is the worst place to put a 1-up. I think this screen right here just perfectly sums up Amagon. This screen I'm currently stuck at and can't move past. I think this just a looping image of this screen. Please. If you like Volgar, I recommend an indie game called Orcs. I recommend an indie game just called Orcs that is on Steam. It's It's actually quite good. Reminds me a lot of games like that. It's all about resource management. It's about picking up and throwing weapons that you find on the enemy. Jesus Christ, this is hell. Why would anyone do this to you? Why would anyone do this to another human being? I don't understand. I'm breaking. The game is breaking me. I am sitting down. That's how I'm playing Amagon, Samurai Goomba. This is so bad. Oh, thank God I'm dead. I'm going to make it to the second world of this video game if it kills me. I'm going to make it to World 2. They might as well just not give it a hitbox. I think that would be way funnier. To be fair, there is a Smash Bros. Clone called Kung Fu Panda Showdown of Legendary Legends. And one of the attacks in that game doesn't even have a hitbox. They forgot to program it. So, depending on what your definition of short is, that may be worse. I really feel like if one of the bug's bullets touches my hair, it should not kill me. They also forgot to program, you know, like invincibility frames and stuff for that Kung Fu Panda Smash Bros. It's very easy to cheese the AI just by using everyone's down attack in that game. I wish this game was easy to cheese. I wish there was some secret I was missing to, the one secret I'm missing to defeat Amagon. The only winning move is to die inside. I like the giant flashing go when you get the Amagon power-up. It just seems so unnecessary. There are some NES games you don't have to memorize. I can't remember them right now, but there are some. Just play Master System instead. Master System is prettier. There's less shovelware on it. Just play Master System instead, alright? Do yourself a favor. Master System Master Race. Sega Master System brought to you by Tonka. River City Ransom is playable by normal people, shockingly. River City Ransom is an action RPG, and as such, you can play it if you're a normal person. There were like, oh shoot, there were 2 Megagon power-ups per level. There were 2 Megagon power-ups per level. This game shouldn't have a lot of things. Like my attention. Thanks for the bird. Thanks for flipping me the bird, video game. Literally for giving me the bird. Thanks. It does have quite a short range, to the point that actually playing as Amagon with his punch is more reliable. I really feel like comparing this to Mega Man just isn't right. Because I could also have beaten Mega Man by this point. I'd be stuck on the final stage in Karnov, because I always get stuck on the final stage in Karnov, but I definitely could have beaten the original Mega Man in the time I've been streaming this. Because that game is not hateful. My personal favorite is Mega Man 6. No, wait, it's not Mega Man 6. Mega Man 4, the one with Dr. Cossack in it. I think it's Mega Man 4. I always say it's Mega Man 6, but I'm pretty sure that one is Mega Man 4. You know, what if the game were just the first level? I think that'd be okay if this entire game were just the first level. I really like the redone music for Mega Man 4. We're on a journey right now to beat the first world of Amagon. I assume this is what people who play retro games just do all day. Like, play retro games for a channel, I mean, I assume they just do this all day, non-stop. Because how else are you supposed to beat these? Right? You just have to do this over and over. Extreme Legends were ports of Mega Man X, right, on the Game Boy? That's what those were. This game is very exhausting. Hey, if they play okay, then it's fine. Oh no! Why would it drop there of all places? There was no reaction time. You can't physically react that fast. I defy you to react that quickly. No, shit. I Want to Be the Guy is not a cruel video game in any sense. The idea behind I Want to Be the Guy is not to bullshit the player. It's to challenge them. After you figure out what you're doing, it's just a matter of challenge. You get a checkpoint very generously. You have infinite lives. You restart as quickly as possible. It's not a game you should really get angry at. I Want to Be the Guy is a commentary on human endurance and the power of the human soul. Just like getting over it. I remember someone really enjoying getting over it, and then they got upset because there were two jump scares, both of them bats that come flying out of nowhere. But there are two jump scares in getting over it. And I remember someone being really upset because they liked the game, and they said those jump scares ruined their trust in the game. But it's like, that game was made for people to hate it. That's in the trailer. The game was not made to be pleasant to play. It was made for people to be angry at. So if you were enjoying it, then it was not performing its intended function. I am screwed. I am boned. If you manage to enjoy getting over it, then in a way you've won. You don't have to beat getting over it to win. You just have to like it, and then you've already won. Because getting over it was made to hurt people. It's not something you're supposed to like. I don't think Amagon was made to hurt people. So I think my criticisms are justified. How old is Final Fantasy Adventure? Because an action RPG where enemies don't come back sounds like an incredible novelty. Amagon is an NES game. You don't need quarters. No Windows update. I'm streaming Amagon right now. Yes, this would make a great arcade game, and I would never touch it if it were an arcade game. Because then I would know ahead of time. I really wish more people remembered the NES for the bad and good instead of just the good. Like everybody remembers the good. More people need to remember Amagon. More people need Amagon as a reminder of just how shitty life can be. Yeah, often, thankfully, arcade ports, especially by that's interesting. I'll have to play Final Fantasy Adventure. Damn, I don't want the birds. You can keep the birds. I really don't want the birds. every time I jump into the birds. I think some arcade games have intentionally bad controls. That was awful. Amagon is an adventure of a man who shoots jelly beans out of his gun. And he doesn't know why he's here. I don't know why I'm here. Why am I not playing Final Fantasy Adventure? Why are you telling me about better video games right now? I'm playing Amagon right now. Telling me about better video games is just cruel. Oh, that would make more sense. If you were talking about Mystic Quest, that makes a lot more sense. Final Fantasy Adventure is the light RPG one, right? Yeah, it's alright. I've heard other people get them mixed up, I think. I didn't know that the enemies stayed permanently gone, though. That makes me want to play it more. Wasn't one of the Final Fantasy games we got over here just Saga? It's part of the Saga series. No, the issue was not that my mic was muted. I was just being that quiet. So the mic was not picking up any noise. I think it's weird how if I just stop talking for long enough, the mic just stops taking in any sound. I only have 24 bullets. Alright, last try. Let's give this one more go. Amagon is actually a crashed Marine. That's why he has a gun. He's a Marine that crash landed on the island. I don't know about the muscle thing, though. But, yeah. I can confirm that is why he has a gun. I don't know in which time period this game takes place. But yes, that is why he has a gun. A very ineffective gun that shoots pink bullets, but take what you can get. It's not like we have a lot of choices. There are no choices in Amagon. Choice is an illusion. That is the recurring theme of Amagon, is that choice is an illusion. Because you may think it's a choice to turn into Amagon because you have to physically press the select button to do it. But it's not. Because you need to turn it, Megagon, because you need to turn into Megagon in order to beat the mini-bosses. It's not physically possible to finish the game otherwise. I like the Japanese version more. Can I play that version? I know it doesn't make any difference in the actual gameplay. But the Japanese version story sounds way more rad. Yeah, that might explain why the monsters are all weird and beefed up. The Japanese version is just not manly enough, is the problem. America just doesn't buy that whole scientist nonsense. Snakes, I think they're trying to shoot venom. I think that's supposed to be venom. Look, who knows what's in this serum this scientist man made? I want to play as Macho Man Randy Savage. That's lovely. That was lovely. That missed jump made me feel good about myself. I'm so tired of these birds. There's so many of these birds. Please go away. No, your ammo doesn't come back when you die. I laughed and died. No, your ammo doesn't come back when you die. That's something nice games do. Games made by humans for other humans. Not this. This isn't that. I don't know who made this, but I don't think they were human. Oh, Jesus, that one bird. That one bird. Okay, I have almost full Megagon health. If I can't make it to the end of the level this time, it's over. Let's Plays are done. Not just my Let's Plays, but all Let's Plays everywhere are finished. I'm sorry if you ever wanted to get into the industry, but if I can't beat the boss now, this is just it. Let's Plays are done as an industry. There's no more Let's Plays. Let's Plays are canceled. Come on now. Get down here. There, we did it. World 1 is finished. Are you happy? Are you happy, Amagon? Are you happy, Amagon? World 1 is done. We have beaten World 1 of Amagon. You know, it's not a mystery why people watch someone fail at a video game for so long. It's not because they like seeing the failure, I think. It's because they want them to succeed, I think is what it is. I think they want to watch someone eventually conquer what has been plaguing them. These are the turtles I was talking about. This turtle has... Thank you for jumping on me. This turtle has jet boosters. I'm not a fan of the elephant dude because he takes 20 bullets to kill. That's the reason I'm not a big fan of the elephant dude. You can like the elephant dude. I think it's perfectly valid to like the elephant dude. But he takes 20 bullets to kill, so I'm personally not a fan of him. But yeah, I like to think that's why people watch other people live stream and fail so often, is because they want to see them succeed. They want to see them conquer what's been destroying them internally for so long. This game isn't very nice, in case that wasn't clear. I don't know how you're supposed to do this level without Megagon, honestly. Oh, it's over. Alright. We died on World 2. We died on World 2. It's over. Amagon's done. Thank you for watching. I'm never playing Amagon again. If I ever talk about playing Amagon again, stop me. Please. We're done. No more Amagon. No more Amagon. We're done. We're done. No more Amagon.